are live.
Let's go.
Why?
Let's go.
Let's go. Why do I not have music? We gotta set the mood here. I need some TPK music real quick.
Wait, what?
Sorry, you didn't hear that. Don't metagame.
Wait a minute. A man needs to go on a couple weeks break. He still decides to kill everyone, so we have time to make new characters, start over.
Yeah, give you guys time to plan the next campaign for me.
Yeah, Keaton's actually going to be playing in the next one. One of us has to GM.
He wants me to GM so bad that he's like ready to wipe us. Start over.
Just deleting both of these campaigns real quick.
I'm not ready, bro.
Alright, this song is fine. Okay, so couple of announcements first. This is going to be a special session here. I've been working with two people on something, although I've last minute decided that was too much. We don't have a lot of time. I don't want to rush things, and I want to make sure everyone has their time to shine. So we're gonna have a special session here.
Kevin's a fucker.
He is. If you guys don't know what's going on, you can sit back and relax and just take in the moment as it unfolds.
Let's go.
Don't worry, you will all get your own turn. Just not today.
Alright.
Part of the reason I'm doing this is because we're nearing the end of the year, and the holiday season is always a mess trying to schedule people.
Real.
But this year is even worse because I am moving to Denver in a month. I'm actually going to Denver for 2 weeks on Wednesday, so we probably can't play. We might be able to do one of these sessions. I'm not sure yet. But then I figure, I'll be moving and stuff. There'll be 2 weeks where we can play again, but then I'll be moving November 12th. So I might not have my computer and stuff, or internet potentially, so probably won't play for another 2 weeks. If we can manage our schedules, we'll have a couple weeks in December, or maybe just 1 week in December, because then I'm also going on vacation. I'm going to India for a whole month.
Whoa.
So definitely will not be able to play then.
That is a wild trip.
Why not?
I mean, I guess we could do more of these sessions then, but I don't know how good my internet will be, just like playing on my phone. So we'll see how that all ends up, but I want to get some good role-playing sessions in as a way to tide us over in between things. I really wished we could have got to the end of book 1 before the end of the year, and scheduling stuff got in the way, but didn't make it that far. We might get pretty close, depending on how many sessions we get in between now and the end of the year, but
yeah,
don't think we'll be able to make it. So that's what's going on. Yeah, but you guys need to stick around to the end of this, although I don't know why you would leave, because
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
I have to leave in 5 minutes.
On that note, I'm gone.
Stick around to the end because there will be something that I have not even revealed to the people I've been working with that I want everyone to hear, but I want to wait to announce that until the end. Something special.
Never works with me, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to get your hopes up. It's not groundbreaking or anything, but I think you guys will all appreciate it. I think you'll think it's really cool.
Cool.
So you get to wait, and we all get to find out what that is. We'll see if I even know what it is.
Ooh.
So my music stopped again. I guess it was not looping. It's probably good music just to keep on looping. You looping? Okay. So we start back in the. Sorry, I'm moving the camera over. In the mud wall house of the Sanmi household. You guys just defeated some drunken Jenkins that were causing a mess in this house, and you sent off the two young lovers, and you did not give them the jewelry that they were asking for.
Well, we gave them stuff and then we robbed them from it.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We gave him chalk, I remember. We gave him chalk. We didn't take the chalk. We just let him have it.
Yeah. They have some chalk for their adventures out in the.
I think that's pretty useful. I would say they can draw their own outlines when one of them dies.
Well, it's useful in case you try and climb something. Adds friction.
This freaking climb.
Right. You know what? So right.
So, they asked for some of the jewelry to like fund their elopement. But you didn't give it to them. You said no. This is, the Jenkins stole this. Whatever. It's clearly not yours. We're not gonna give it to you. But among the pile was a necklace.
Mother's necklace.
That belonged to Margot's mother. He recognized it, pulled it out, and said, "No, you definitely can't have this," and took it. Did you put that on, by the way, or you just like took it and you're holding on to it?
Yeah, sure, I'll put it on. I don't want to lose it.
Okay, so you tied it around your neck. Among the jewelry, there's a big pile of stolen jewelry, 75 gold worth, which I think Sned is the loot holders because he's got all the strength. So I'll give it to him unless anyone disagrees. Okay. So it's gonna be in Sned's backpack because he can hold a lot of stuff. So he's holding all that jewelry. Then I'm sure you guys will disperse appropriately when the time comes.
Yeah.
But among the jewelry there, Elijah looks out and says he recognizes something. There is a silver locket among the pile of stolen jewelry. A silver locket that's cut into the shape of a sunflower.
Elijah snatches the locket for himself, and he's like, I've been looking for something like this.
Elijah grabs the sunflower locket in his hands, puts it together, and we go back. We see a younger Elijah out on the roads. And what do we see?
Elijah had spent his latter years of his youth traveling, many sleepless nights, haunted by the mysteries of his bloodline and his lineage. His aberrance manifested early on, and it grew in strength as one grows in height, which started to disturb him. He wasn't sure which unsettled him more, the sight of his power invoked, or the whispers that followed it, but he knew he couldn't rid himself of either, so he wandered. Along his travels, he was told many times his features resembled people from deep in Tian Sha, the province of Shinmen. Sometimes even tales of a quaint, quiet village hidden deep in the forest hills, Willowthorn. He paid no heed to these comments until a traveling merchant warned him of the dangers kept in Willowshore.
Yes. Well, it's best to avoid it anyway. Darkness is buried there. Spirits rise to steal life, envious of those above ground. Some undead, some from the eldritch deepness from beyond this plane. Horrors you mustn't seek, not in this cycle, unless you wish to be mad.
This vague warning imprinted in Elijah's mind. his wandering would end soon. He set his path for Willowshore. Elijah never cared where he wound up, but if Willowshore is haunted, then maybe it's his homeland after all. The midday rains of Willowshore's sun rippled like waves against Elijah's skin, welcoming him. The heat roasted Elijah's pale skin. He had been on the road for years, yet his skin never darkened, perhaps a side effect of his blood magic. He made himself appear extra pathetic to a passerby, the heat and humidity aiding him in his deception. Maybe one of the townies would feel sorry or disgusted enough to help him. Eventually, he was able to ask for an authority figure and was directed to the Matsuki estate. The old man Sho chastised him for bringing in dirt and mud to the main house, but offered, or rather demanded, Elijah to use the bathhouse. Elijah knows himself too well to be offended, and takes the offer. When he emerges from his bath not an hour later, he slips into a pair of bathrobes and getas, and makes his way towards the main house, careful not to track in any mud. He finds his clothes had been cleaned, dried, and steamed hanging in the ginkin.
The old man waves him into the dining room with a pair of chopsticks. A buffet laid out before him. Oh, come, eat. You are very weak looking.
Very well. It'd be rude to refuse an offer like that after all you've done for me, said Elijah as he followed him into the dining room meekly.
After Elijah makes some progress in his meal and after some silence, Matsuki chimes in. Well, this is a good town, young traveler, but it is quite isolated, and I'm afraid there's not much to offer an outsider. What brings you here?
I've been on the road for as long as I like to remember, but my brittle bones can only carry me for so long. I'm sure you can tell just by looking at me, but I'm not fit for that lifestyle anymore. And besides, settling down would give me more time to look inwards, if you know what I mean.
Yes, well, quiet town like Willowshore is good for introspection and spirituality. If you are to stay, you'll need to find work. You can't reside with me. If you're able to earn, my old muscles can still saw timber, and I'll even build you a home. It's been some time since I've had the opportunity for a good project, anyway. What skills have you?
Back home. Feels like it was forever ago now, but I used to work in law enforcement. Yes, law enforcement, that's what I called it. I wasn't out on the street or anything, but I was in the forensic information department. I was a real human can opener, you know. It's my specialty. After that, I was a deckhand on a boat in exchange for a free ride, though I'll be the first to admit I couldn't handle the environment, being on the sea all the time.
Oh, well, we don't have much need for bureaucracy here, but the governor's aides are assigned by the emperor, but those sailing skills, sailing offers useful skills. You may find some work out at the oh, and it is clear to the audience that Matsuki was going to mention the docks, but clearly did not want to send Elijah to Northridge. Matsuki says, Sun Chong hurt his back last week. He is aging like me. He may need some help around the stables. He has a son, but he's still trying to find his place in the world, much like you. He's just down the road. Why don't you try speaking with him?
And with that, Elijah left and headed toward the stable. Kung Sun Chong, initially is startled and quite aggressive, yells at Elijah upon seeing his long, tendril-like hair and pale skin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were, never mind, he says as his vision pauses for a moment over a painted sunflower on the wall. What can I do for you?
Matsuki said you were in need of a working hand, and I am in need of a residence, so I thought maybe we could come to an agreement.
Matsuki sent you. Well, yes, I need help. I slipped and knocked my back crooked. My wife's massages used to set it straight, but you got good hands? Or I mean, are you good with animals?
I might be on the frailer side, but I'm no stranger to manual labor. Not the best with animals, though.
Well, that is fine. My boy can tend to the horses, but he's a scrawny one. You can carry lumber and swing a hammer. I've got some fences that need fixing, and plenty grain that needs hauled.
Chung grabs his cane and hat off the desk and hobbles out back, over an immaculate stepping stone pathway enclosed on either side by a wall of sunflowers, bright red butterflies fluttering over them. The path ends toward an enclosed barnyard with a fence much too low for horses.
Kumsun Chang mumbles out many different things about the stables and of the various tasks that Elijah will need to do. He goes, grain and hay deliveries arrive here from Chonghu at 4 a.m., alternating every 3 days. He is quite punctual. Do not make him late for his other deliveries. He is always on time and never misses a day. He is always up very early in the morning to make his deliveries of grains and sweets.
Noted.
The goats and sheep, he continues walking down the path. Goats and sheep here, we only have a few chickens nowadays. I keep losing them to the foxes, or he looks out over the horizon, or something in the night. I need better mesh, I guess. Another thing on your list. The horses are here. A couple dairy cows intermingled, mostly in the central barn. One bull out there in the back. Don't let the others in there. On the other side are the swine. It all needs constant cleaning. I hope you're good with a shovel. And he looks over at Elijah, who's somehow got a gap between them now. Even though the old man has hurt his back, he still has some pep in his step when it comes to running around his stables. Oh, I see you have a bedroll there. You're welcome to use some of the hay and set your bedroll up in one of these stables here and sleep here. Whichever barn you think you can keep clean the best. Oh, and don't let the animals eat the sunflowers. Sometimes the horses like to sneak a bite when no one's looking. If you can build the fence up over there too, and he trails off mumbling. There's several other tasks for Elijah to do around the stables.
Elijah gets to work, hammering in the posts of the fence so that the horses don't eat at the sunflowers, and thinks about shoveling pig shit, but then changes his mind and saves it for the next day. He then, after good 3 or 4 hours of hammering in wood posts, decides that he's had enough and decides to rest in for the night. First, he tries to sleep on his bedroll, but it reminds him too much of his wandering days on the road and whatnot. He then tries to sleep on the hay, but that's even worse because it makes him itchy, and he scratches at his skin all night, unable to get any rest. But then, in the dead of night, he hears squeaking, muffled squeaking nearby, and gets up to go check on it quietly. Peeping through a crack in the barn's planks, he sees something.
All he sees a flicker of shadows, almost like a torch in the night, but instead of light flickering, it is the shadows, almost as if the flickering is pulling the light away, not giving it. Elijah can't make out exactly what's going on, but just a flash of one image sticks out. A frothy pink flurry, milk and blood poured over the head of a sunflower.
in a lapse of judgment on Elijah's part, his hand goes to rest against the old wood of the barn, but his hand slips and he falls.
What?
He alerts.
Who is there? And
Who?
out from the barn, there's a shuffling of feet, and you see a young boy, a few years younger than Elijah, and it is Meng Sung, the stable master's son.
Elijah quickly jumps to his feet. Calm down. Calm down. It's me. I'm a worker. I'm a worker. Your father. I'm sleeping in the barn.
Oh my god, you're sleeping with his father in the barn?
Uh,
This took a
Oh,
turn.
man.
I was not expecting this.
The boy has a bloody dagger in his hand, and that he slowly tries to hide behind his back. Oh, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be out here right now. Please go back to the barn.
I saw some curious image. Milk and blood in the head of a sunflower. Do you have any idea what that's about?
Oh,
And could it be related to the dagger behind your back?
no, please. Okay, just don't tell my father about this, okay? You can't tell anyone. I've been. He pulls the dagger back out in front of me. Says, I've been doing some things. But it's nothing. It's nothing you need to worry about. Just don't tell anyone, please.
Elijah is curious about the experiment and the ritual. So, in order to show him that he can be trusted, he decides to show off his occult magic. And from his right hand, it looks as though small snakes are moving underneath his skin up to his hand. And then suddenly, translucent purple tendrils erupt from it in twisting fashion. And from the other, a pale green ooze excretes from it. And it falls to the floor and sizzles like if it was acid. I have an interest in this ritual that you are performing, and I would perhaps I could be of some assistance to you.
Oh, really? He looks around a little scared for a moment, but says, well, if you'd like to see, and he leads Elijah into the barn, where it opens up, and it's very dark except for a very dim candle that's nearly out in the corner of the room, and he speaks up and says, oh, sorry. You also see a whole array of like a dozen chickens, all like very poorly, sloppily butchered in the corner of the room. But it's don't worry about that. He opens up to Elijah and says, I've been seeing something in my dreams. There's power in this land. It's connected to the spirits. I think it's Pharasma herself. It's like she wants something from me. It's like it wants me to see her again.
Seems like I made a good decision coming to this town. You see, ever since I was young, I've had these powers. And every passing day, they seem to grow in strength. but I know not of its origin. So perhaps it's tied to this pharasma you speak of.
I think so. I think well, I think she brought you here. I think she wants you to help me. Okay. Well, hey, I'll clean up here, but I'll talk to you in a few days this weekend and the full moon. I think that'll be a good time. Yeah, come back here then the nights of the full moon, okay?
Very well. And Elijah turns to go back to his hay bed. A few days go by, and Elijah and Minsung have been getting along well. The stables are clean and the work is good. Sun Chung is recovering, but Elijah does good enough work that Sun Chung is keeping him around, for now at least. After sundown, on the night of the full moon, and Sun Chung has gone to bed in the main house, Elijah hears a rapping on his stable doors. It's Minsung, distressed and clammy, his pupils strangely constricted in the nighttime.
Okay. I know I told you to come meet me in the stables, but I think we need to go now. Please come. He motions for Elijah. He goes,
Like,
and as the two walk towards the back of the stables, Meng Sung rambles on. I know there's a way to conjure the power to summon it. I've heard the elders speak of the dead rising and attacking the town. The Night of the Broken Blades, they call it. Well, I don't want them to attack, but I think the town got it wrong. They attacked the dead. They were scared. They fired arrows at them, but I'm not scared. I want to see them. I want to help them. I want to help her. You know. I hear it. It calls to me. The voice is fuzzy, like it's muffled and blurry, like an old memory, like a forgotten face. I think it needs a sacrifice. Equal blood for blood. That's how these things go, right? I started small with the chickens. You saw the chickens, but I think that wasn't enough blood. I don't think that's enough. Even if I called 10 at once, that's not enough blood. But you know what'll work. You know what'll definitely work. The pigs will work. I'm not strong to kill one by myself, but with you, will you help me, Elijah?
if it has to be done, then sure, I'll help you do it. Minsung leads Elijah to the barn in the back corner of the stables, opens the doors, revealing a single pig, feet hog-tied, suspended from the ceiling. Minsung slowly slips his hand into his robes and pulls out a butcher knife.
All right, I'll prepare the ritual. You, just stand right here. And he points like right next to the pig.
Elijah nods and brandishes his soul dagger. And Minsung reaches into his robes again, pulls out a silver locket in the shape of a sunflower and places it beneath the whimpering swine, then encircles the earth beneath the swine in chalk and begins.
He starts chanting some words that Elijah's never heard before, some sort of ancient language or something archaic. And he finishes marking the circle of chalk and then makes a thin slice on his palm with the butcher knife and slides his palm down the right cheek of the pig. Says, you do the same.
Elijah takes his dagger and makes a shallow cut in his right palm and rubs it against the other side of the pig.
Meng-san goes, yes, okay, I think it should be ready. Okay, when the light goes out, we both need to strike at the pig, okay? I'll blow the lantern out, and we both swing, okay? Just make sure you aim straight. Hit it right in its belly, okay? And I'll get it.
Belly.
I'll get it down its spine. Yes.
All right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. And he blows the candle out. We hear the loud squealing of the swine as it is slaughtered by the 2 young boys. You hear the dripping of blood spilling down the pig and pinging off of the silver sunflower locket. And the candle lights itself again, and for a moment, Elijah thinks he can maybe see a face, or some sort of face in the candlelight, but then it returns back to the regular flame. Meng-san goes, oh, I think that means it's working. It's working. He looks down at the locket. The blood is like pooling in a circle around it, and it swirls into the locket. The blood pulls open the locket, and it's like it dives in and then reclasps itself closed. Oh, I think that's her. I think she's here. She's back. He picks up the locket, opens it up, looks at it, and his Meng-sung's eyes, his pupils dilate and constrict back and forth wildly. He goes, oh, yes. Mother, is that you? I've missed you so much. Yes, I'm doing good. I made a good friend. I think he's gonna help me with a lot. He helped me find you. I really miss you. Dad really misses you. Will you please come back? Please. And in a flash, Meng-sung's eyes close, and she collapses to the ground. And Elijah hears scrambling out in the field beside the barn. He goes out to look at what's going on. And it's right above the, right past the fence. It's the field of sunflowers. And he hears a groan. And you see a walking corpse of a woman. Long, tendril-like white hair. Pale skin. It stumbles through the fence. Reaches its arm back to strike at Elijah. What does he do?
He quickly, in a moment of desperation, he casts grim tendrils at the creature, just in an attempt to get away from him.
Casts the grim tendrils, spawning out from the earth. The tendrils wrap around, puncture the walking corpse, and rips it apart. And it is no longer undead. few moments later, Ming Sung wakes back up and walks over to Elijah. What did you do?
This corpse, it attacked me.
That was her. She came back. She listened, and then you killed her. How could you do that? I've been working so hard. You did this. He takes out his butcher knife. He's like, why would you do that?
Mensung, you need to calm down. That thing, that wasn't whoever you thought it was. That was a corpse, a walking corpse.
No. And he just collapses to his knees and drops the butcher knife and throws the locket at the ground. Take it away. I don't want to see it anymore. Get away from here. Don't come back.
All right. And Elijah kneels down, picks up the locket, and walks away.
And we return back to the present moment, where with Elijah holding the sunflower locket in his hand. And does Elijah know, does he remember if he got rid of the locket, or if he thought it was in his possession, or what? Would he have held on to it, or would he tried to get rid of it?
Yeah, would have held on to it. Perhaps like on like the first night or something, like when they were like in the woods, it wasn't on his person, and now so he found it again. So.
Yeah, it's among the many mysteries of that missing moment you had overnight at the night of the festival. This was one of them. For some reason, you didn't remember missing the locket, but now all of a sudden all those memories rush back, and you remember you should have had this all along. You were never without this locket. As you hold it in your hands there, you can feel some energy emanating from it. You feel some sort of power calling out to you, not unlike the whispers that haunt your dreams and the back of your mind. It's a different voice, but it's offering you something. Do you wear the locket?
Yes, he does. He does.
Okay. Elijah puts the locket back around his neck where it belongs. And he feels this energy enter into him. And he now wears the locket. He feels this power, this connection to the locket. And this locket is a special type of item that I'm curious if Malik knows what I'm about to say. Because I know he watches No Nat Ones. But this locket is a what's known in Pathfinder as a relic. Relics are magic items that level up with you and gain new powers over time.
I think this is the first time we've seen relics.
That's correct. No Nat Ones just made a video on it.
I have not seen it yet, so.
Nice. So this locket, the sunflower locket, So, how relics work are they're like regular magic items, except they level up with you, and they give you special powers. Each relic has two aspects. There are various themes like fire, cold, soul, death, life, time. So some more abstract things, but some elemental things. There's dragon aspect, all these different things, and those determine what powers it grants the user. As you level up, you will get more gifts from your relic. You have to do something while you're wearing it to like level it up to advance your bond with the relic. So that moment that we saw with Elijah and Meng Sung, that was Elijah forming a bond with the locket. You can do other things as he levels up to advance and level up the relic. Now, I will let Tavin, I will let you pick what other powers this has. But starting off, I figure with your background and with that scene that we wrote, it would make sense that this relic has the soul aspect, which there are 3 minor gifts you can choose from at level 1, but one of them is the soul puppet gift. Can you guess what that does? It allows you to cast once per day the spell Animate Dead and summon an undead.
Interesting.
If you don't like that, you can choose a different one and we can talk about how to do that, but I figured this fit.
It's pretty good.
Yes. And so this is now in your inventory. We can try to find a good image for it or whatever, but for now it's just the default item image. So this scene is something I hope to replicate with all of your characters over the next coming weeks. I figure it's a good way to try to fit in some role playing and get some backstory out of our characters while our schedules may be messed up. And that's why it also works if not everyone shows up. We really only need me and one other person to do it. It might be kind of awkward if that's the case, but and you guys can just watch the VOD afterwards, I suppose, but it's better when we're all here.
Would I recognize this charm if it's connected to Pharasma? Or was that just something they were assuming but wasn't true?
If Margot looks at it, it doesn't recognize like any symbols or anything about it. But
Okay.
you can recognize that it's a sunflower, which for all your characters would know that sunflowers don't grow around here.
What's that weird flower?
Okay, what you got?
It's a sunflower.
Never heard of it.
It's
What's the sun?
Have you never seen a sunflower?
If you look up, you can see the sun.
Whoa. And this comes from there?
No, it's like named after it because like the actual flower is like yellow and it's like got like the big, it's like big head of the flower, so it looks like the sun. That's why people
Huh.
call it sunflower.
This
And
is
it's a
where we
real
find
thing?
out that Marco's just a basement dweller. He just hasn't seen the sun.
Marco's just
I'm an academic. It's well known. I don't go outside.
he only studies the tombs.
I study the dead.
That happens at night, not during the day.
It's like my whole religion, bro.
Marco just always thinks it's dark outside. So he'd like the first time he saw the sun, he's like, "What the hell is that?"
Why'd the moon turn yellow?
Moon's really bright today, huh?
That's odd.
That's odd.
God.
So, I think, I don't know if anyone else has any other immediate reactions to any of your characters' reactions to the necklace.
It looks like you went somewhere for a little bit there when you grabbed that thing. Is that yours, or you just really want it?
It's mine. It's mine. I thought I had it, but remember when we woke up, all of us together, when we did the, what's it called? The ritual, whatever it was called, in the woods? It wasn't on my person.
The way you're stuttering here makes it seem like you're trying to steal this thing. Yeah?
Oh, God.
Your story's falling apart here, buddy.
It's the truth.
Margo, like,
That
dude,
amulet that you have, how do we know that's not just someone's amulet and you're taking it, huh? How about that?
That's a good point.
This is a woman's amulet. Does this look like I would wear it? Well, as they say,
We're
I'm wearing
stuttering
it.
right now.
Can
Oh,
Bingo
shit.
search the ground for like a necklace?
Chill guys.
Can Bingo search the ground for like a necklace that no one's claimed yet?
He feels left out.
Yeah, you can find another necklace.
Yeah, this one's mine. Weird. That man, they must have had all of our jewelry, and he quickly pockets it.
All right, guys. All right, you're all just taking my thing now. All right. I started this. You're all just hopping on the wagon to take these.
How
These
dare you?
strangers' amulets. Sorry, that's what you were gonna say. These strangers that you don't know where they came from. You're taking the jewelry.
How dare you?
Just you wait till we find my mom and dad. They'll tell you.
You already found your dad. Remember?
Never seen that old bird in my life.
I think
Margo.
you're just in denial, Margo.
That freak just walked into my dad's room.
This is a coping mechanism for you.
To be him, like I don't know what happened.
Margo, I've never even met your dad before, like, the last, like, few days. That was your dad. That was for sure your dad.
Bingo's an investigator. He knows this kind of stuff. He's a detective. He knows things.
No doubt in my mind that was your dad.
You'll see. You'll all see. Once we run into my dad later, when we finally find him, even though we've been everywhere in town and haven't seen anyone from my family, yeah, you guys will see.
Bingo just leans over to Elijah like, how do we tell him? How do we tell him?
We're gonna have to tell him sooner or later. You know, he's got to come to terms.
Eventually, he's
This
gonna
isn't
have to
a big thing
realize.
for him.
Like,
My dad's young, guys. Like, how could that have been him?
Look, we'll find your dad. Trust. Actually, yeah, we'll find your dad. Actually, it'll be great. It'll be great. You have a big happy family reunion.
Thanks,
All three of you
Can
guys.
make it
or
any
however
problem.
many.
And now that you've said that, maybe that necklace is yours.
Yeah.
You knew so much about sunflowers. I've never seen that thing before in my life. Never heard of it either. So.
Yeah. See. It all makes sense. It all makes sense.
So is that thing like a seed or something? You can plant some sunflowers for us.
It's just a fancy amulet. It looks like a sunflower. I'm a big fan of sunflower. That's why I have this. It's my sunflower locket. I'm a big fan.
Can we eat that?
It's a silver locket.
I
Can you
mean,
eat it?
his question stands.
I mean, you could, but
Wait,
maybe Sned could, but I don't know about any of you guys could.
Yes, that could eat anything. Seen that guy eat an apron.
Ned has eaten anything.
Sned's just standing in the corner with just like a giant pile of jewelry, like
Just
out on his
munching
arms.
them like.
Ned, no.
Like Sned is like carrying all of our inventory, like because he says he's the strongest. But I genuinely believe that he doesn't have a bag or anything. Like he just eats it all and then regurgitates it later when he sells it. Like when he was trying to feed his family after we got them out of the bag, he just like threw up a bunch of like items. And he's like, nope, not that, not that. Here we go. You guys can eat this.
God damn.
He does have a bag, but that's just for appearances. When you guys aren't looking, he takes it out of his bag and then eats it.
Yeah. Canonical. His relic's just gonna be inside of him, like.
Yeah. So, relics
So
was
do we-
the surprise for you guys. So, I know I sprung this on Tavin without telling him. In fact, good job on the roleplay there because we improvised the whole last like 10 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Real.
It was not written down. because I
Let's go.
I didn't have time to finish it. But that was good. That was fun. So I hope to recreate that or do similar moments for the rest of your characters, and that is also when you will receive your relics as well. And for you guys, the players, not the characters' sake, Elijah should have had the locket on him going into the night of the festival, but it disappeared, and by the time he woke up. And that is the same for the rest of you. Your relics were maybe not something you necessarily always had on you, but it was something connected to you in your past, at least before this campaign started. Some sort of object that you recognized or had some sort of connection to, that you then will find in the next however many sessions. But we can figure out what that is as we will write those scenes. So,
Like, do you have an idea of like a list of relics that we can choose from, or should we just like come up with something and then you'll
So,
make it work, or how do you want to do it?
relics can be literally anything. I completely
Alright.
made this item up. So the rules for the relics are the item itself can be anything. The powers it gives you, I'm open to making up powers as well. But there's a list of the aspects and the gifts. So like his animate dead thing. There's a list of those, which I prefer to use so I don't have to try to like balance things. But this is a fun thing anyway. I'm not really worried about the power getting too out of hand.
Are you sure you don't want like me to take a power where it's like I can use my exposed weakness again on the same character?
I'll think about it. We can talk about it. But
That one seems like I don't know if like it's OP or not, but it sounds OP because it's obviously intended for you. If you fail, like you're just fucked. But like I don't know.
so
I
posted
have
the-
some idea.
Okay, I posted the rules
figure that
for the relics there on Archives of Nethys, and if you click on the relic aspects, or the relic aspects, there's a list there underneath on the top menu. There's air gifts, artistry, beast, celestial death, dragon, earth, emotion, fiend, fire, forge, intelligent, life, luck, metal, mind, plant, shadow, soul, time, and water. So you pick.
You guys aren't allowed to have soul. I already have soul.
Yeah. So for Elijah's locket, I picked soul and time. You can change the time one if you want, but I figure soul is pretty thematic for you. The other one you can make whatever you want. I don't really care. But for the rest of you, you pick two of those.
Sick.
Two of those aspects. And then at level 1, where you guys are level 2, so at level 2, you guys have one minor gift. So if you click on those gifts, there should be 3 minor gifts. You get to pick one of those. So between your 2 aspects, there's 3 minor gifts, so 6 total you can pick from. You can have 1. Once you guys reach level 5, and you do something to advance your relic, which I'm thinking will be another like roleplay moment similar to this. Once you advance your gift, or advance your bond with the relic, you'll unlock a second minor gift. And then eventually we'll get to the major ones, which I don't know where that is. Yeah, at 5th level, you guys get a second minor gift. At 9th level, you get a major gift. So you can try to look ahead with those. At 13th level, you get the second major gift. So we probably won't get there unless like that'll be like the final couple sessions of the campaign, because it's supposed to end at like level 13. You might not get to that one necessarily, but so you can look through those to try to decide what things you want to pick, or try to build this item into your character story. backstory, and we can use this as a way to get inside the minds of your characters and see a little bit more of their story here, and especially connecting them to other characters in Willow Shore.
I have some ideas on what mine might be, like relic-wise. How did since we're doing it the next couple weeks, like because of time off, and I guess some of them might be more in like Christmas, New Year's time when people aren't available. Like, do you want us to generate something, or like, do you have some ideas of what we should incorporate, or?
Yeah, so I'll have Momo and Kui will be the next one, because I was gonna have them both go today, but then I was like, oh, this ended up being a lot longer, and I really like the way that the stories were going, so I'm like, I have so many ideas. These guys know I was sending them a bunch of shit of like, oh, it'd be really cool if we do this. So, Momo will go next. Whenever that is, I don't know if that'll be next week or 2 weeks, whatever. We can talk about scheduling later, but yeah, the main things I want to pull out is your connection to Willow Shore, and like the one or two most important characters to you, and especially like I know Margot, like Elijah wasn't native here, so this was his introduction to Willow Shore, but Margot and Sned are, and I don't know, I actually don't remember if Bingo's from here or not.
Bingo is not from here.
Okay.
He's been here a long time, but he's not from here.
Okay. But Margot and Sned were born and raised here. So while you can have your family and stuff in it, I do want one of like the NPCs, like the core NPCs, to be a part of your story somehow. Similar to how Meng Sung and Kumsun Chong were for Elijah.
Hell yeah.
So I want to integrate them, at least one character, like pretty deeply into your story. And we can work together on who that is and why and how you interact with them. So
Yeah, I have an idea of that already.
if you chart out on like a Google Doc or something of like highlights, just do a quick like plot summary of it, a couple bullet points of like beginning, middle, end, whatever, and we can work together on that, and I can especially fill you in on background of Willow Shore and the story that you might not be privy to yet, and especially stuff about the characters that you'll be interacting with. So we can go back and forth on that. Yeah, just make a Google Doc, share with me, and we can discuss things over the next several weeks. And then we can talk about scheduling when to do the scene, hopefully when other people can show up so we have an audience, besides our one viewer.
Yeah, I have a couple of ideas, so I'll write it out for you. Like, I know what the relic is, and I know why it's the relic, and I know the character to interact with,
Okay.
and I have some ideas on how it could end. I don't know the stuff that really happens in the middle, but I'm assuming you have a plan for that, so I can give you the plan
on your
and
character,
like the idea around it.
your story, but yeah, I have lots of ideas.
Okay. Yeah. I'll write something up and I'll send it to you.
Cool. Yeah. So, yes, and think about that. No rush on this. The only rush is depending on how soon you want your relic. We won't have.
I guess I should look at the abilities to find out how soon I want it.
That's a good point.
We won't have too many like combat or sessions or like big sessions just because of the schedule and the time. Maybe. Just
I mean, our next destination is the freaking main bad guy, like at the freaking tea house. Like,
maybe these relics can help you destroy him.
Maybe.
We can go through that. We can talk about all the logistics and all that. But yeah, sound cool? You guys excited?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited.
All right. Yeah, and hats off to Savin here working with me on on this scene. I told him at first like, just 5-10 minutes, and then I kept sending him a billion more messages. Oh, it'd be really cool if Meng Sung does this, and he's like killing a pig and shit, and like his mom is involved, and we built out the whole thing, especially that improvising at the end. That was sweet. I'll need to get a transcript of all that since it's not in the Google Doc.
Yeah.
We got the recording. That's why we record these things.
I can tell. I can't wait till the audio is not on again.
I was watching it.
Made sure.
Make sure.
I think I got the streaming stuff down.
Nice.
No more issues. I swear to God.
Till someone's
Let's
missing
go.
and then the frames are all messed up.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that yet. There's probably a way to like, maybe I just have multiple scenes saved of like, if we have 4 players, use these boxes. If we have 5, do this. I don't know. Yeah. Alrighty. I gotta go pick some asshole up from the airport. So I will.
Wow.
Yeah. I will talk to
And
you
just
guys
imagine.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I have to go to. Bye.
Alright,
Tell that loser I said he sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Ruining the session, not letting us play more.
Yeah, for real.
What an asshole.
Tell him he's a loser and he should finish Delta Green.
Yeah, you should. Alrighty. See you
Alright.
guys.
Alright, GG's later.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys.